Hi, I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with this week's web fishing report. Well, I'm sure that by now you've already signed up for our public fishing reports forum on thefisherman.com, but on the off chance that you've yet to do it, we've got a little promotion which might just be enough to kick you into gear and get signed up and start posting your reports. Each week from now through July, we'll choose the most informative and detailed report from the previous week's posted reports and reward the poster with a great prize from the likes of Spro, Aquatic AV, CustomFilletTables.com, and WileyX. So sign up, post your reports, and you might just be our next winner. And as always, check out thefisherman.com as well as the Fisherman's Facebook page for updates on the contest as well as the last week's winners. So I'm going to move right into the reports, beginning things off in Connecticut. It was quite the change after a slow week number one of fluke fishing. This past week blasted off with many fish in the 5, 6, and 7 pound range being caught by anglers. The big fish of the week, however, was a 12.35 pound dreamboat entry by Dennis Walsh, weighed in at A&W Marina in New London, Connecticut. Congrats on the great fish. That's going to be a tough one to beat this early on in the season. Weak fish continue to be caught down the western end of the Sound, and Captain Morgan's weighed in a 9.75 pounder this week. Hopefully that was weighed in for the dreamboat as well. We'll let you know in the coming days. Captain TJ Karbowski of Rock and Roll Charters got into a load of bass this past week, up to 20-25 pounds average in Long Island Sound. He said he not only found a lot of striped bass out there, but tons and tons of bait, so this only bodes well for the coming week. So give him a call, maybe get out on a boat with TJ in the next week. Now let's see, all of our friends at the party boats in the Groton, Niantic, and Waterford area did extremely well this past week, primarily targeting scup and bluefish, both of which are coming over the rails at an extremely fast pace, but at times they also got catches of striped bass, fluke, and even a few weak fish in the mix, so you just never know what that next drop was going to get, and as always it kept things interesting. Let's see, moving over into Rhode Island, Mike at Watch Hill Outfitters reports that fluke fishing is much improved this past week, much like it was in Connecticut, over in Rhode Island waters, with a lot of fish from 5 to over 9 pounds being caught around Fisher's Island as well as down by Musquamac. He had quite a few of these fish brought into the shop, so really good things going on. 7Bs confirms this fluke fishing is getting better and better, as they had a few fish in excess of 10 pounds take the pool this past week. Those night squid trips that we told you about by the Francis fleet were downright awesome this past week. And let's see, the peak of the action, although it continued all week long, Wednesday night was the hot night with many anglers filling 2 and even 3 buckets each with squid with their tubes up to 18 inches long. That's a massive squid. I mean, that's offshore range right there for what you're going to get, not just the big strip baits for inshore. Let's see, on the striped bass side of things, everybody that we spoke to, from one state to the other, reported much improved action this past week. Lots and lots of schoolies in the breachways, some fish along the ocean front, but even some much better fish got word of this week. Lots of keepers coming along, so things are really finally shaping up in Rhode Island for striped bass as well. Up in Massachusetts, the guys up at CMS Tackle report that both bluefish and striped bass are being caught in around West Island and the Fairhaven area. This is good news. Fish starting to move into that area. Got lots of squid, tons and tons of bait. Where I talked to Eric on Friday calling for the surf report, he said he couldn't believe all the bait that they're seeing in the area. So it's a really good sign of what is going to definitely blow wide open any day now. Let's see, Red Top Sporting Goods, Mako's, Eastman's, as well as Dick's out on the vineyard all report some excellent black sea bassing going on in Buzzards Bay and the surrounding waters. You know, it kicked off last weekend, started off with a bang, it's continued right along. Some massive hump heads being taken. Saw a lot of posts up on Facebook, guys limiting out the boat on black sea bass. And these are extremely tasty fish, so definitely want to get in on something like that. Now let's see, on the North Shore, Bob's Bait Shack in Winthrop report some very good striper fishing being had in and around Deer Island. Lots of medium-sized bass as well as plenty of keepers up into the mid-teen range, so that's pretty good to have. Flounder fishing as well on the North Shore has been very good, with the largest fish that I've heard of this week going over 4 pounds, and that was weighed in at Tomo's Tackle in Salem, so congrats to the angler. Lastly, Gulf of Maine ground fishing continues to plug along for both cod and haddock, and Cayman Charters as well as Yankee Fleet both report some excellent catches being had this past week. So it's a great option. If you want to get out with those guys, give them a call. I know Cayman Charters does some excellent open boat charters, so you can check out their website, CaymanCharters.com, see what they've got for open dates as well as a schedule and get in with them. So there you have it. That's this week's web fishing report. For more details, check out the complete report online at thefisherman.com or in print. Until next week, I'm Toby Lapinski for the Fisherman magazine, wishing you tight lines on the water.